Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an electrifying episode of Desi Dynamos, Stories of Indian-American Trailblazers Season 1. Today we have a guest whose name is synonymous with innovation, leadership, and forward thinking in the tech world. Buckle up because you're about to hear from one of the brightest young minds in the industry. Someone who has not just mastered the art of digital transformation, but has also redefined what it means to lead with vision, purpose, and the heart. My own favorite today on the hot seat, I'm honored to introduce Srinivas Arasada, Chief Technology Advisor at Evolutyz Corporation and a member of the prestigious Forbes Technology Council. Srinivas has been at the forefront of the digital revolution for over 20 years, shaping the future of technology with groundbreaking strategies in artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and data analytics, much more than that too. Under Srinivas's leadership, Evolutyz has transformed into a global powerhouse, delivering cutting-edge, customized solutions to businesses across the world. But here's what makes Srini truly exceptional. His leadership goes much beyond technology. He's a passionate advocate for diversity, an unwavering champion for women's empowerment in technology, and a mentor who's shaping the next generation of industry leaderships. His commitment to fostering inclusion and pushing the boundaries of innovation has earned him accolades and great respect in every corner of the industry. Srinivas comes from humble beginnings in India, but his rise as a global technology leader is a story that is nothing short of inspirational, especially for Meenamma, who has watched this boy. His journey is a testament to the power of perseverance, vision, and the belief that technology can be a force for good. So when you are here, whether you're here for the insights on leadership, or for a masterclass on digital transformation, or an inspiration from a true Desi hero, you're in for something very special, ladies and gentlemen. Without much further ado, let's give a warm welcome to the Trailblazer himself, presenting Srinivas Arasada. Welcome, Srini, to this podcast. How does it feel for you to be with Meenamma today?
Thank you, Meenamma. Thank you for the invitation. I feel very excited and very happy to be on one of my favorite persons on the Meenamma show. Very happy to be here talking to you this afternoon.
Srini, I know I have seen you. I have seen the trajectory of your life. I have watched you as a young boy from a college, the way you've come out to be a leader. But can you tell us a little bit about your childhood? Were there any early experiences that influenced Srinivas to be sparked into an interest of technology and innovation? Tell us about your childhood.
Thank you, Meenamma. So growing up, I was always fascinated about how things worked, whether it was gadgets or a software. The logic behind it is which amused me the most. But even before getting interested or influenced towards technology or innovation, my interest started towards management and management excellence. This happened when I was undergrad in Andhra University in Visakhapatnam. And when I was working for you, you had a major influence, which made me think that technology along with management is what can take me to the places that I wanted to explore personally in my life.
Srinivas, even as a young boy, I remember that, I was fortunate to have you in my team very early when you were still in college. You were a leader par excellence. You stood out in the mob as not just another college boy having fun and earning that pocket money. You were always next to me, watching me very keenly. And you were nothing short of, somebody who was equal to me even those days. And I'm talking about maybe 20, 25 years ago. What was your first job in the tech industry? I know that you were interested in so many things. You had prowess in so many things, but technology took you. So what was your first job in the tech industry? And tell us about, how you approach leadership from that year onwards, from the time you went on to that seat.
Sure, ma'am. So when I was doing my MBA in Marketing and Information Systems from Indian Institute of Planning and Management in New Delhi, I was able to secure an internship with LG Electronics. I was given up the role of handling their entire analytics for their budgeting and forecasting system. So I had to write some custom programs and scripts to give them the kind of outputs they wanted. And that is what amused me, the kind of dashboards that we can build and what can go behind a mere spreadsheet. That kind of kicked me off my interest into much deeper technology. And as far as managing people or excelling in such, like you mentioned, observing is learning is what I have believed my entire life. So I have always been very fascinated about people who are doing very, very well in their careers, and I would kind of want to guide myself, mend myself into them. And then I always realized that observing and learning is the best thing I could always do.
When you look at somebody else's life from outside, there's a lot that you learn. And the person who's actually teaching you doesn't even know that there are so many things to be gleaned. So you obviously have had mentors very early in your life who played a very, very significant role in guiding your career and your mind. What are the lessons that you got from these mentors? And would you like to mention some of the people who stand out in your memory as people who impacted a young, receptive Indian mind?
I love the fact you're asking me about mentors and the role of mentors in my life, Meenamma. There are a lot of influential people that I look up to during the course of my career. As a kid, there were so many personalities I was looking up to. As a young college kid, I was looking up to a lot of people. And when I started my journey of MBA, there were different set of people I was looking up to. Indra Nui is one of the very influential people I look up to a lot, and I just started reading her book, the only book she wrote. In that, she mentioned that we don't choose mentors; they pick us. So going back to that, it made me think and resonate. I very casually mentioned to a lot of people that I'm very proud I worked for Meenamma. I made a lot of my friends work for Meenamma, but you picked me. And that had a major influence in my life. And along the way, when I was doing my MBA, another very smart person, his name is Raj Patnaik, he was 1 year senior to me. He picked me up and he mentored me on public speaking. He mentored me on how we should think beyond what's possible. And early on in my career, one of the persons I helped find a job in IT later on turned out to be one of my biggest mentors. His name is Peter Jain. All these people have had huge influence, but I always wanted to do something better. So I would so the thirst for better mentors, better personalities I would look up to would never stop.
It's wonderful that you say Indra Nui, because the whole world looks up to her not just as a woman but as one of the top CEOs. And it was not just Pepsi's gain; it was the world's gain. And each woman is proud to hear that name.
Yes.
Thank you for dropping, because she's an inspiration for all of us. Lovely. It's lovely to hear that answer.
Absolutely.
Srinivas, you come from a little sleepy hamlet called Visakhapatnam, a lovely small city in Andhra Pradesh. But your journey to the United States, I somehow, talking to you as a Desi Dynamo, have felt always that the USA has opened its arms and accepted our children, brothers and sisters, for what they are. And all of you, the entire diaspora, has proved us very, very right. And we're very proud of each Indian, especially boys like you, who dared to come across the oceans. Tell us about your journey from India to the USA and how you have settled down in the USA, but still go back to the values of India. We would like that story. It would be very interesting for new listeners.
Sure. So, Meenamma, again, like I did my undergrad in Andhra University from Visakhapatnam. Visakhapatnam is something I cannot take out of my heart, take out of my mind or my soul, and I think Visakhapatnam also reciprocates the same with me. So it will forever remain my city, my town. After that, I went to New Delhi to do my MBA, and my senior Raj Patnaik had a major influence in me picking my career and trying to look big and aspire for US, because if you wanted to be in tech, US is the place to go. Silicon Valley is a dream for everyone. So I worked for a company in India for a few years, and I was able to interview for a company based out of New Jersey that sponsored my work visa. I came here. I started working as a regular programmer analyst, and over the years, my second job really gave me the edge and the platform to do more than just computer programming. They gave me an opportunity to lead a team, take initiatives on what I want to build and run, and that created my interest towards services delivery and eventually into a pure technology management role. And US has provided the career, US has provided the platform. It is abundant in resources. You're free to dream, you're free to dare, you're free to think beyond what's possible. And that kind of resonated very well with what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do as a larger good for myself and for the community as well.
You married your technological interest, your career interest, along with excellence and leadership. The word is leadership. Whenever I look at you and see you, the only one word that comes to me is this is a leader. Leadership has been your forte for the last 2 decades. You're a young man, but you have led. You've always been the leader. You've never been behind. You've always been in front of the tribe. Can you tell us a defining moment, Srini, that shaped your career and your leadership philosophy?
So a defining moment in the career is, I would say one of the highest in the career is when I signed up for one of the largest airline clients in the US, and we were like this completely new kid in the block. We were competing with the big fives, but I remained humble. I remained honest. I was very clear in what I could do, what I could deliver. I was given the opportunity, and then that made me truly believe that you don't have to be big to get bigger. You can start small and still get very, very big in life. And when I was given that opportunity, I kind of flowed it down and gave opportunity to my team also, and we all grew together as one big family, one big team. And I like being in the forefront. A leader that can be a good face of an organization can produce a lot of more other new leaders and new faces for different departments and different organizations. I've always believed in it, and I think that's what helped me succeed.
Srini, you've always built a talent pool more than a team. You always have seen that there are people who are relevant to you, maybe for your childhood friends, your classmates from school, your family members. You picked up the pearls and you surrounded yourself with that talent pool. Today, if you look at Srini, there are always leaders behind who are as good, if not looking to be as good as him. Such a vision, recently giving away expensive cars to achievers, to people who have stayed with you for 10 years. This speaks volumes about the kind of person, the giving and loving person you are. But you have been described even by the Forbes as a visionary young leader. how do you cultivate and maintain this vision? See, everybody thinks differently. How does Srinivas think when he wakes up in the morning and realizes that he's the father of a team? Maybe many people are older than you in your team, but you are the BAP. You are the team leader. So how does this, especially in such a fast-paced and unpredictable industry as technology, how does Srini think when he wakes up in the morning?
When I wake up in the morning every day, I like to do my affirmations. I like to thank for everything that is with me, and I also like to thank for what is going to come to me in the next day, in the next week, or the next month. But most importantly, I start my day thinking that I have to continuously inspire and aspire all the people that are around me. So I have to be a better version of myself than yesterday so that it reflects on the rest of the team. And I always try to focus on finding an intersection between technology and human needs if I'm working on a new project, or I try to find an intersection between what are the needs and wants of my team, and I try to pick on from there. And most importantly, I try to be as approachable as possible to my team. I try to stay very grounded, and I use a very easy to approach management style. And I think that's what makes people love to be around me, and I resonate the same with them.
That's wonderful to know. The human aspect is so important, Srini. Evolutyz, your company, your dream company, it operates both in the US as well as in India equally efficiently.
Mhm.
How do you manage to balance the global market demands? It's two different types of markets. How do you manage to balance this? Because I see that there is always a seesaw happening between the US and India. And there's such a wonderful relationship, a partnership between these two countries. But the local markets are different from the global markets. So, how do you handle transformation initiatives for Evolutyz, balancing this?
So operating in two markets, especially very demanding and growing markets like US and India, is not easy. It comes with its own set of challenges. As much as the challenges are thrown at us, we love to overcome, address them. And most importantly, what we do is we try to localize our strategies while keeping our core offerings and our core vision, our core objectives still at our heart. And we try to innovate globally, but then we try to execute what the local market needs. So we kind of like to call ourselves the global players, operating at a global level, but trying to be as much localized as possible. And then when operating in two markets, we have the right people, and they have the freedom and liberty to take decisions. And I just love to delegate people with as much power as possible, and empowering my team, empowering my leaders gives me that kick, gives me that high. And I think that has what helped us run well balanced teams between India and US. It's not so much about the customers or the clients we work with. It's only the teams that always try to get more attention of me than the other.
Srini, you work in a very competitive market for skilled labor. It's very difficult to get skilled talent, and you keep training and upgrading your team, knowing fully well that they're capable enough to jump to another job, but still the retention in your company has been very high. Many people don't choose to leave Evolutyz. We see a lot of people leaving the big fives for better opportunities, but with Evolutyz, check this out, guys. He has kept his team intact for many years, and all for the right reasons. So money has never been the big reason. It's always been the emotional want of being with a leader who teaches and inspires. So the competition, what strategies have you implemented personally at Evolutyz to attract and retain top tier talent? We see very accomplished people, they swear by you. So, how do you keep the competitive environment going in your favor?
So More than talking about the strategy to attract and retain talent, Meenamma, the first and foremost thing is I personally always have put people before profits. So for me, people are the most important dynamics in the organization, and I've given them preference before cutting corners or trying to increase the bottom line of the company. And I think that shows in action. People absolutely realize that, and I take a lot of pride when I say that. If the attrition rate in India or in the US is at an average of 30 or 40%, we have always been below 2%. And
Right.
that is a huge accomplishment. That's a huge testament. And then a huge thank you to all the people that are responsible for this, who work with me, who work under me, who work directly, and that have all been made this huge success possible. And we have built a culture that purely focuses on learning and development. If someone in the team is a mere software engineer, but he wants to go to one of the IIMs and take a management course, we would never say no to it. It is not that we are handing out freebies, but then we sit down, we discuss, and then we look at the value that is going to come out of this software engineer that takes up a management course in IIM, and that is, we have always looked at the outcome based results. And I think that worked very well in our entire organization from top to bottom.
I still remember when you were planning an awards event for your family, your Evolutyz family, you actually told me that I want to do something for their parents rather than them. Srini, when you look at a person struggling for life in the jungles of corporate world, the people behind him, his father, his mother, his wife, are the true heroes, and you always have given due attention to those people. So I think this cuts you away from the clutter, and you are unique in your own style of love and affection as a leader, and God bless you for that.
Thank you, Meenamma. To hear something like this from you, that I have always considered my life mentor, I think, one of the biggest highs of my life. So thank you for that.
Srini, talking about mother, father, women, you're a great husband, you're a wonderful son and son-in-law, and you've always advocated for women in your organizations. You're a strong advocate of diversity and women's empowerment, especially in your team. In each sector of your work, you've always given respect to the woman who has been there. How does fostering diversity contribute to innovation and success for Evolutyz as an industry?
Talking about diversity, for our teams, be it in US or India, we have built an all-female run people operations team. So our hiring, our onboarding, our learning and development, our employee success engagement, everything is handled by an all-female team, and that has given us tremendous results, which I was personally involved in taking up that initiative and personally making sure it runs that way. And in my opinion, Meenamma, diversity brings different perspectives, and it leads to more creative problem solving techniques, which has always worked wonders in my opinion. And I personally, I had always great learning, great influence, great experience from women. So diversity is a big thing, and I would always want it to be carried forward for generations to come within Evolutyz and outside of Evolutyz.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Srini, when people talk about diversity and inclusivity, everybody's talking, shouting these two words. Like sometime back, it was glass ceiling. Today, it's like diversity, inclusivity. But many companies fail in this particular aspect of this vision. What do you think is going wrong? Because, what advice would you give to tech companies who are trying to put diversity and inclusivity into their agenda, but are failing so badly? In what way? I mean, you simply took over those two topics and you owned it. So, why are others failing while Evolutyz is doing good on this aspect?
So, Meenamma, in my personal opinion, many companies treat diversity as a checkbox. Um, so they treat diversity as another item that needs to be done as a part of their agenda or for cosmetics. Uh, in my opinion, diversity has to be integrated into the part of the core strategy of the business. And when diversity is linked into the business outcomes, innovation will happen, the results will show. I think that's how we differentiate ourselves when it comes to how we handle and take an approach towards diversity at Evolutyz.
Wonderful. So that's a very good point, actually. It's not just something that has to be ticked away. It has to be looked at very differently.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Very good. I know, and I see in your title itself, you mentioned that you are a mentor and an investor. When you say investor, you invest in people.
Yes.
You mentor and invest in people.
Yes.
Srini, you've been described as a very wonderful mentor and a very strong investor. So, how do you look? How do you select people you invest in new leaders, startups? How do you plan to mentor and invest? How does this journey work for you?
Again, I'm so glad you mentioned that, Meenamma. When we are looking to invest, we are necessarily not investing in a flashy startup or the idea. We are investing in the people behind it. When I decide to hire someone at Evolutyz, I would spend enormous amount of time, especially for key leadership roles. And even when taking up roles in terms of mentorship, again, I very carefully handpick and choose with whom I want to invest my time. And it has always worked very well with constant mentorship and constant checking out with them, trying to guide them. And I always look for resilience and passion in what people are trying to do. That always stood out for me before I decide with whom I should take up the course of mentorship or become a guide or investor for anyone.
Yes, that's a very valid point. Srini, congratulations on your mention on the Forbes list. Very few people reach that list, and I'm so proud that an Indian son has reached there and with such style. It's a great moment for me, especially to see your Forbes profile. But you are recognized as one amongst elite tech leaders. Elite. The word is elite. How do you define leadership in today's technology landscape, and what qualities do you think future leaders need to cultivate to become leaders in this arena?
Meenamma, first and foremost, is leadership today is about being completely adaptable and having the courage to take decisions during a lot of uncertainty. And future leaders should also cultivate a lot of empathy. They should carry a lot of vision and deep understanding of technology, and innovation should be handled in a very responsible fashion. Like there is always a statement of caution which says drink responsibly, smoke responsibly. I think innovation should also be done very responsibly. And with that, the reflection on leadership also takes effect on how the future generations would want to carry forward the same innovation and the same leadership styles when they're trying to build out on their own.
Yes, that's true. Your company, Evolutyz, prides itself on client-centric approach. It's a word that we hear every time from you. How do you ensure that your team consistently delivers customized solutions that truly align with each client's unique needs? How do you do this?
So there is definitely a lot of research that goes behind it, and we have done it repeatedly, time and over, so many times. So we have this very successful and proven framework that we have so excelled internally. So we try to rinse and repeat it as much as possible, and most importantly we take time to understand the clients businesses and tailor solutions according to what they require. And again, here the intersection of technology versus the human needs again plays a very major role. Flexibility and customization have always been key. And one other thing is, again, we are very approachable. If it is a new client or even if it is an existing client, as much as they can reach out to the team, they can also reach out to me at any time. They can reach out to my senior management at any time. We are very approachable. It is not like they are dealing with 10 levels of people to get somebody's attention. So I think that is what people, our clients, like a lot about us. Again, we started small, we have grown big, but we still like to give that personalized attention to our clients, which always I think gave us the extra advantage.
Yes, Srini. Srini, I'm a woman, I'm a romantic woman, and I've always felt that, the family came first. And I see this in you, a reflection of me in you. Tell us about your family. You married the love of your life, your childhood sweetheart. You wooed her, you went after her, you knew what you were marrying. And today, I think she's the strongest part of your life. So tell us about her and your family.
You know pretty much about the family, and for the audience here also, I'm very close to my father, who has had a huge influence in my life. I think it's because of him I stay very grounded, and I stay very honest and humble with the things that I do. A lot of my interest towards running your own business or getting into management is because of my mom's siblings. Very young in my life, I've seen them taking companies public and dominating financial markets, which has had a huge influence on me. And as far as the love life goes, everything has its own drama. So I had to go through a lot of struggle, a lot of convincing, a lot of drama, but then it is always a very happy story with a very happy ending. And there are a lot of driving forces which have helped me get to where I am today. And among these supporting and driving forces, my wonderful wife Shilpa has been the absolute rock behind everything.
Yes.
Yes. If I have to marry her another 100 times, I would still do that without any hesitation.
Oh my God, every husband should say this. I'm so proud to hear you, Srini, today. Thank you, Shilpa, for letting Srini grow and become the leader that he was born to be. Srini, with everything you've accomplished personally, professionally, emotionally, spiritually, from leadership to mentoring to advocacy, what legacy do you hope to leave back in the tech industry? You have a long innings still ahead of you, but what is your vision that you want to, when you leave, people should say Srinivas equals dash?
I hope my legacy is one of the innovation and of the inclusivity that I've always forever believed and treasured in my entire career. Again, the intersection of technology and human needs as priority. And I would like to be remembered as the person that has put people before profits, and creating technologies that impact lives positively.
Wow. Well, I wish you all the best, Srinivas. Srinivas, now we are recording this episode in the mid of October 2024. In another few days, there is a very special announcement, and you are actually changing your portfolio. I understand. Srinivas, tell us all about the new portfolio and what it means to you.
I have, first of all, thank you. I'm super excited about the more responsibility and the broader portfolio that I plan to carry forward. I would soon be assuming the title of CEO at Evolutyz. Thank you. But once I start taking over the responsibility as the CEO, I would like to be known more as the chief empathy officer than a chief executive officer, because that is what more aligns with my vision, with my objective, and how I like to carry forward with my life and legacy.
Wonderful, Srinu. I wish you all the best. I'm sure you'll be one of the smartest, the most dynamic CEOs in the days to come. You have a long time to impact, and it's so wonderful that your journey is so vast and beyond expectation. Wonderful. Srini, when we decided that we should have you with us as one of our Desi Dynamos, my team put out in our group, the Meenamma fan club. Oh, I love it, the word fan club. And we got some questions from number of questions, in fact, from some young people. People were excited when they heard about you. We discussed profiles. And I request my team, Ujjwal Madhav and the Blue Tick, to bring some of the relevant questions now. We can't answer every one because there are a lot of questions that came for you, Srinivas. But I think we handpicked a few. And at this moment, I request Ujjwal Madhav, who handles the Blue Tick and Meenamma's portfolio, to be with us and ask those questions.
Absolutely.
Hello, hi. I'm so happy to be a part of this wonderful conversation. It has been great to listen to you, Srinivas,
Likewise.
and the way you shared about your journey and talked about your vision and the future. It's really inspiring. And from the Meenamma family, there are around five, six questions which we have selected. And I'd like to put the first question to you.
Sure.
Uh, There's a young boy who asked that he's a tech enthusiast and then he wanted to be an entrepreneur and start his own company one day. So, as an entrepreneur, what are the key traits and the skills that is required for an entrepreneur to start his own journey and to succeed in this world, which is a changing world of technology and a new world? What are the few traits that you would suggest to this young entrepreneur who's planning for his new journey?
So, few important traits to a young entrepreneur, or even a 60-year-old professional who wants to venture out and become an entrepreneur. I would say only three things: desire, willingness, and ability. Do they have the desire to be where they want to be from where they are today? If they have the desire, do they have the willingness to work to get there? And with the desire and with the willingness, do they have the ability to do everything, whatever it takes, to get there?
Amazing. I think that's so important because your work and your approach should be the priority at any given point of time, irrespective of anything that is
Yes.
happening all surrounding. So I
Yes.
think that's wonderfully said.
Yes. So, Ujjwal, during my MBA days in Delhi, one of my most favorite economics professor, Mr. Prasoon Majumdar, this was like the second or third day of our economics class, and I've never studied economics in my life because I'm a science graduate. He taught us the basic principles of economics, which is the desire, willingness, and ability, that has had steadfast impact on my life at every phase. And I think it boils down to that.
Awesome. I think that's a wonderful response. You know, the second question is about technology and the changing time. But this question is, technology is changing every day at a very lightning speed. Every day is something new, and you have to really cope up to keep abreast with the new changes which is happening. So
Yeah.
what are your habits? How do you keep yourself updated every day? Is there a particular checklist that you follow every morning, or in the newspapers or technology sites or something? What is your habit look like in order to keep yourself appraised as a leader where you are leading a team, as an entrepreneur, as someone who is always as a technology person? How do you keep yourself updated?
If there was a checklist I have to follow, that I have to read the information, or I have to read the Wall Street Journal, or if I have to read any other tech-based journals, and if I have to purely follow a checklist, I think that would wear me out. That would saturate me at some point. I personally think even for me or anyone who wants to follow a similar journey, I think their survival anxiety should take precedence over their learning anxiety. If you're
Wow.
if you're just doing it for the sake of learning, you saturate. Okay, you do a bachelor's, you do a master's, you do a PhD. What after that? But if you are constantly trying to survive and be the best around everyone you are, I think that gives you the desire to stay ahead of game. And then I think at that point it's just a matter of navigating what you want to consume and from where you want to consume.
Great. I think that survival instinct is so important,
Yes.
at the end of the day, because otherwise it becomes another one certificate, another one degree, or
Correct.
another information bank, which you will keep it aside. You
Yes.
learn, keep it aside till the time you don't utilize or apply in your day-to-day life, in your
Yes.
requirement, in your journey. It
Yes.
doesn't work.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Next is a very interesting question. There is a young professional and he wants to grow in the industry of technology and also the entrepreneurial journey. So he always believes that there's a mentor required in life. So you have your identity or brand identity as a mentor has been known to everybody. So he's asking that, what is the process that he can approach you or to take guidance from you? Is there a particular format that you have already set it up where someone can approach you to get mentorship and guidance from you? Or if it is so, and what is the format and how someone can approach you to get mentored by or get guided by you?
If someone wants to be mentored by me, I'm a open networker on LinkedIn. They can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and tell me what they're looking for. If there is mutual synergy, then I'm always open to doing that. But in general, for anyone that is trying to find a mentor for themselves, don't just fall in love with the first mentor you come across. You should always test and try to make sure you're the right match and the mentor is the right match for you. Research and more research. Just don't go by what you see on social media or on LinkedIn. You should do your own research to find more about the person, and if there is any unique identifying factor that makes you feel that, okay, this person can help you go from point A to point B, then that's where you should start your journey.
Very well said. I think that's very right. Very right approach one should take. In terms of before jumping into getting supported or getting into the
Yes.
process of mentorship,
Yes.
complete detailed understanding is very required, and a blueprint is very required.
Yes.
Okay, this is the last question. It's from a lady who is working in a tech industry, and she's in the HR department. And she says that as in working women in a male-dominated field right now, what are the actionable steps that I can take in my own workplace to foster an inclusive environment? I'm not in a leadership role right now, but without being in a leadership role also as a woman, how can I get myself visible, noticeable, and take some actionable steps in my work environment?
So, if this particular individual is working within the HR department at any organization she's employed at right now, if she's not in a management role already, and if she does not have the leverage to make her own decisions or do some major changing aspects, then what she would probably work on is her own personal branding. She can position herself as an expert in her field. HR is vast. Within HR, there is talent acquisition, there is compensation, there is rewards and recognition, there is employee engagement. If there is one among these HR areas that piques her interest, there is so much she can do at her level also to empower people around her, to create more ways of implementing those strategies at her workplace, but also talk about it, write about it, kind of make her a distinctive person within that field, which does not require an approval from her manager or boss. And I think that will give a runway to her to take steps much faster than a traditional way.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. I think you have said it very rightly. Within the scope of our limitations, there is always limitations in every space when we work. There may be limitation with her because she's not in the leadership role, but within her own domain, where what she can do, she can always implement it and take things forward from there.
Yes, yeah, because even with in the case of Meenamma, or in case of me, or in case of a lot of people that I interact with or spend most of my valuable time, we are all first generation people. We have paved our own path to where we are today, and we all have been through the situation in what you just asked about this girl that is working in HR department, but we were always able to navigate to our next step.
Right.
Yes.
Very true. Thank you very much for answering our questions from the Meenamma family gang all together. And it's been wonderful conversations. We came in between to take these questions, but you can continue the discussions, and we look forward to have some wonderful understandings and sharings from you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me again. Meenamma, I can't be more happier than today to be on the same platform as you, and cherish and revisit all my journey so far and everything else that is yet to come.
Srini, in just the last few minutes of this beautiful chat, I know that you were totally unprepared today. I caught you off bound and I asked you to come in, and you couldn't say no to me, so you were here. You didn't prepare. You just came, just the person I wanted, and you sat on that seat and you spoke so well. Srini, if I ask you to define yourself in one word, what would that word be?
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered, undiluted. I think that's a beautiful word, and it defines you perfectly, my dear Srini. A great man once said, great leaders don't make followers. Great leaders make leaders whom they follow. I
Right.
think you're an outstanding example, Srinivas, of one such a leader. Because, all of us have the opportunities, but there are very few people like you who grab that opportunity and know that they are the drivers of the future. I wish you all the best, and I wish Evolutyz Corp a great innings, because the entire company is nothing but a reflection of who is leading them. And today I see it's not just one leader. Srini is creating more leaders to take up more efficiency and more growth and prosperity for Evolutyz. I wish you all the best. The road is large, it's wide, it's unknown, but you are in total command, Srini. And as a Desi, as a boy from India, as a dynamo, a trailblazer in the United States, you've balanced it so beautifully that I can only say that you have put the flag of India in the global committee. And we are proud of you. Srinivas, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Thank you for being with Meet Meenamma. Meenamma will always pray for you and always look forward to see you.
Thank you, Meenamma. Thank you for having me on this show. Jai Hind and Vande Mataram. Thank you.